Well, there's some solemn faces in this room, and of course there is. I just ask you to mute even any microphones, gents. Guys, welcome to Tap and Go, our brand new pub. It's a bit kitsch, but it's our brand new thing that we've added to Die Papier Kickoff and at Novus Media. Gents, this was like a morgue when I logged in. I am gonna go to Jack first because Jack, that was a tough 80 minutes, certainly 40 minutes to watch.
I don't care. I know I'm going to wake up soon, and this was all just a horrible nightmare, especially after halftime. But I mean, we've got to be honest with ourselves. I think we didn't get the bounce of the ball, but we didn't deserve the bounce of the ball. I think the Boks haven't played well since Paris last year. I think we played very well, and we played very poorly. We played well in the tight forwards in the first half. We had them in a vice grip, but we couldn't close the deal. And I think we lost the game when Malcolm Marx knocked it on over the try line. I think that's where it turned. We should have won, but we lost badly, and we deserve to lose badly.
Well, listen, let's be honest, Sasha's going to get roasted in the media in the next week. Courtney, he just couldn't catch the ball today. What the hell was going on with Sasha?
To be honest, I don't even think it's really Sasha. It's the 9-10 axis. I don't think Grant Williams had his best game either. So to be honest, yes, you can point fingers, but it's not really him, but it is him. At the same time, like I said, Grant Williams didn't have his finest game. He was caught out twice for 2 tries out wide, and even that charge down, which is debatable at best. So yeah, I mean, yes, I think we got it wrong in terms of that axis 9 and 10. He will get the cane as it was. He will get the worst of it, but kind of like the whole backline's in fire at best.
Jesse Creel touched the ball in. I genuinely don't remember Jesse Creel having the ball.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, they never really got it going in terms of getting it past number 10. So, I mean, yes, who's to blame for that? And then when he did go to the wing, I mean, Jesse Creel, he's, in my opinion, not the finest winger anyway.
Sean, I've just watched this game, and obviously, like, with kind of neutral eyes, there was no change in gap. There was no plan B. There was no plan B from the Boks, and that was what surprised me. I thought from Argentina to this was going to be markedly different, and it wasn't. It just wasn't.
Yeah, so like for me, there's 2 spaces here. We're a game short minimum, and you can clearly see that the All Blacks have played a little bit more. Have managed to sort out a few things. We just a game shy. And the other thing with that, things were going well-ish in the first half in that we really, the pullback, a couple of handling errors, there were a couple of spaces where you're looking at it and going, just a little bit more time and it'll come good. And I think that was their thing. They didn't need a plan B because once they start polishing that off in the sort of towards the end of the game, the second half perhaps, it'll come good, except it went the opposite direction and we landed up in shit.
Really 2 ways about it. Just a reminder, just try and put yourself on mute if you're not talking. Dustin, you're heading out. I've seen this look off you before, my man. I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you. I just thought the forwards, once they lost dominance at scrum and the maul, actually, I'm going to give credit to the All Blacks now. I thought they nullified your strongest weapons through the game. I thought they stopped the rolling maul well. Mark should have scored. Eventually, the scrum got done. I mean, I know I said this about the Ireland game last year. I don't understand why you scrummaged so much just to get them yellow cards. You could have gone and won that game by a lot more points. I know it's a flex, but that moment when they went for the yellow card in the scrums and then got turned over in the scrum, I think that's when it was like, that was done then. It was just a weird tactic, Dustin.
Bro, to be honest, we lost this thing when our bench wasn't good enough. Let's just be honest. When Zachary Porthon came on, I mean, Gerard Steenekamp was replaced halfway through the second half. They weren't the best bench that we could have picked. Oxenche, Volkerlo were dominant in the scrums in the first half. Second half, we lost it because of the bench, 100%. And Grant Williams didn't have a great game. I think Courtney alluded to it earlier. It's fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but coming to you, mate. Again, I just want to touch on this lack of game plan. I cannot remember a Springbok team, A, dropping the ball as much as they dropped today, but B, looking lost on the field. They looked lost on the field.
And yeah, I agree. They definitely a game short, but I think they also refer to the week of hell. I think Kitshoff said it, and I don't think we can use that as an excuse. But the fact that they did not have a plan B, that was disappointing. I also agree that the bench didn't give us the injection that we thought it was gonna, and that was a big and credit to the All Blacks. They nullified it. They absorbed. They took the hits for 60 minutes, and then they came out to play, and we just couldn't keep up with the pace. Bench didn't bring that injection. I mean, I still feel that we didn't get the rewarded in the scrum enough. Yes, we got a penalty in there, but it was consecutive, and there'll be more in it for us. But we had to go back and say, listen, we're the world champs. If this doesn't work, we need plan B, and we need to come back with something better. But there was a couple of players in key positions that was just heavy undercooked, and I agree. 9-10, I don't think they were on par. And when it breaks down there, it's gonna be tough for the wings outside to get some space, and it's got a ripple effect.
Just on that,
May
Ash.
I say something about? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What I want to say, 9-10, we're talking about 9-10, right? I think Sasha had a decent game. He attacked the line well. He defended well. His kicks, maybe 50-50, but Grant, I don't want to blame Grant Williams, but Grant Williams didn't have a good game. So
Agreed.
let's say 9-10 access, but the problem was Grant Williams.
Yeah.
100% the problem was Grant Williams.
And
he was slow. He was slow at the breakdown. He was picking and looking for runners when he shouldn't have. I think poor decision making from him. His box kicks weren't good. I think 9-10 cost us, but the bench. I think we said it now earlier. The bench was the problem.
We were soft.
If I may say, I don't think I want to disagree with everyone about the game plan. I don't think the problem was the game plan. Look, their plan was to run us off our feet. They didn't get the chance, right? They couldn't play their game. We had them in a vice grip. We were camped in their 22. We had many opportunities to score. I think the problem was execution, as simple as that. I mean, if you have as many chances as we had in their 22, and you may say, okay, why take the scrum? We take the scrum, we get an advantage, right? Now it's a free play. And still we can't score because someone knocks on, or, the clean is not proper at the ruck. I think the game plan was fine. If you set in advance, you're not going to get, the All Blacks are not going to get into the game. You're going to be camped in their half, in their 22 for about 30, 40 minutes. And you're going to have 10, 22 entries. You're going to have 5 or 6 or 7 scrums in there, 22. You take that. The problem is that we didn't close the deal. That's as far as I see it. And maybe the way I think of it is like this. Okay, this is like a World Cup, this whole series. And how did we win the previous 2 World Cups? First we lose, then we win. So we got the loss out of the way, and now we'll win.
I have to agree with Jacques. There's this thing of saying, there was no plan B, but plan A was working. Plan A was working. Yeah. We got the 22-meter entries. We got the penalties. We got the opportunities. So I can't fault the game plan. I mean, I can say check the refs' emails because there were some dubious decisions, especially around, for example, Esteban's charge down is ruled illegal, but then a charge down on the other end is ruled legal. That's I guess that's one debate up for discussion. Even the I've never heard a ref say the whiplash motion is what threw his shoulder into his face. But again, not to complain about referees, but what I'm saying is that Plan A was good enough. We just couldn't execute on it. There was no need for a Plan B when you talk about the bench coming in. Yeah, they weren't great, but at the same time, we put ourselves in position. We were better at contestables. Everything was there. We did everything right and we did everything wrong. We got ourselves in position and then we just never executed on that.
Comments coming in socials. Producer Joe and TMO checking the car parks for it. Game fair play to All Black. Deserved it for me. Listen, I'm not a massive Matt Carley fan. I'll be honest. I think he refs a lot about himself, but I think he did all right today. I actually think he did all right. You can highlight a few moments, but boys, I hate bagging refs, and I don't think that's the reason you lost today. I actually thought Carley had an all right game as a ref, to be honest.
I didn't have an issue with his the way he managed the game. Like, listen, in any game that any team loses, whether it's by 1 or by 50, you can find something to moan about the ref. And honestly, like if you had to look back at all the errors the Springboks made, they were like firmly on themselves. It was poor. If you look at the first 20 minutes, we were all sitting there going, cool, we're just going to clean up a few things and then we're looking good. Courtney, like, I love it. Plan A was working, but we ran out of steam and we couldn't execute it more. I thought the management of things was a bit challenging. Obviously, the shift in the backline changed things. I thought Delendi at 13, like full circle, he made his first 2 test appearances in the 13 jumper. I didn't think he was too bad. I did think, however, that taking Estes and that went off. I can't remember. Anyway, when they moved Sasha to 15, I thought we probably could have made a different decision there. I thought Willemse at the back was outstanding. I thought everything was good. If we could have just done a straight swap for Marnie and Sasha. And then I do want to say, like, that I don't think Williams was that bad. Like, he made some errors, but I also think, like, there was a lot of other stuff going on that was really hampering him. Like, he was getting obliterated at the breakdown. Well, maybe that's a bit harsh. He wasn't getting obliterated, but he wasn't getting things his own way. I didn't think he was that bad. I just thought we didn't push on when we should have pushed on, and things went the other direction as opposed to finishing off.
I want to agree with you, Sean. Sorry, if I can jump in there, Andy. Sean, 100%. We didn't get everything our own way. We were being obliterated. I mean, the breakdown was a shit show. Let's be honest. But Grant Williams was that bad. He wasn't good, man. He was slow off the mark. His box kicks weren't good. He made and look, I mean, you can see that way. I'm a Sharks fan, so I'm not a Sasha fan or a Province guy. Sasha wasn't bad. Sasha did well. He attacked the line. He defended. Grant Williams made him look like a tool.
Any more comments coming in from... Sorry, I just jumped straight over you there. Sorry, I had a little glitch. Any more comments to come in? That was from Gregor Galway over in Ireland watching the game. Cheers for joining us, Gregor. Any more there, Joe? You said there was a couple. Yeah. Wow. That kind of sums that up, really. Just wow. I suppose I suppose the beauty of this is that it's kind of a quarter done, if that makes sense. It's not. There's another game next week. So, Jacques, what's the changes we need? And let's talk about personnel first. Who's kicking? Dustin's kicking Grant Williams out of the 23 by the sounds of it. But where do you think personnel-wise, you've got to be brutally honest and go, you've got to go, my friend?
For me, if I can go first, I don't think Grant Williams had such a bad game. I think we won most of our contestables. I think we won the contestable battle. We had a lot of them back. I think there's a 14-point swing on the Holland/Etzebeth onside, not onside. So I don't think Grant Williams is a problem, but I definitely bring in Marnie or even Andre. I think there was a lack of control, right? From 10, it was a bit frenetic. It was very Sasha, if I may say so. I think Sasha is a fantastic player. I don't think he's a fantastic fly-off. That's always been my opinion, so perhaps I'm biased, but that's what I saw. There was a lot of, doing things a bit too quickly instead of cool, calm, collected. Marnie runs the back line better. As far as the front five is concerned, I would start with Thomas. I think, look, I mean, the Wilco gamble worked as far as the scrums are concerned, but he also gave away 2 penalties that gave them an in, which led to two penalties. So for me, what I would do is I'd mainly change fly off and maybe tight head prop. I'd consider, if you want a combination between scrumming and mobility, I'd go for Carlos Sadi, or otherwise I'd start with Tank with someone like Sadi or Wilco on the bench. But those are the main changes I would make. Like I say, we weren't that far away, except for playing really poorly, executing poorly. But I don't think that we've got personnel that can come on and fix all the problems that we had today.
Interesting today, wasn't it? Because the bomb squad just never came on at the same time. It was kind of like filtered. And Ash, do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think actually that was more wrong than the starting, Ash? That the bench needs to be looked at first before the starting 15 next week?
I believe that we didn't have that punch in the last 30 minutes when the bomb squad was supposed to come, and that it's like when the bomb squad comes on, there's just that the pace gets lifted. There's in the intensity, there's a great amount of pressure comes from line out time. There's some energy coming on, and I didn't see energy today from the bench, and I think that was a bit of a. It's almost like they let New Zealand into that last 20 with a bit of a soft approach. I agree with Jack. I think we need to look at our front row. I think Walker did well for 60 minutes. I was surprised that he played for 60. I thought he was going to play maybe 40, 45, and then they would have brought the bench. But I think we need to look at our starting. I like Wilco from the bench. I think when the rest are a bit more tired, he's more effective. And then you have a couple of guys coming on and bringing that intensity. So I think the bomb squad wasn't that effective today, and that was a big problem.
Yeah, just a few comments coming in from the YouTube channel of Kickoff. Thanks for everyone. There's loads of comments coming in. As much as I love Will Jordan, I thought either Fabian Holland or Jasper Wiese should have won player of the match. I thought Wiese played very well today. Safa's as soft as butter. Have that one, boys. Try again next time. All Blacks was miles better. Rassie is becoming bigger than the game. Yeah, some not so nice ones, which we won't go down. You lost it weeks ago thinking you won it then. Would have showed the same respect we showed. Sorry, Rassie, perhaps next time. Rassie is not a genius. He just had luck on his side for a long time. Yes, Renegade. Thank you for that one. And a lot of people, you'd be pleased to know, Dustin, a lot of people are on your side with the Grant Williams arguments. So there you go from that. Courtney, Sean, do you want to chip in on the personnel kind of discussion on next week? Because I think it's going to be a hot topic over the next few days.
Yeah, listen, I just a couple of things. Like, I don't think that we've got such a bomb squad like we used to have. Like, you bring on 7 guys or 6 guys at once, and we kind of changing with that a little bit. I do think that losing Kirkley Oren so early definitely impacted how we managed the backs, and not that really affected the forwards in the changes. Then obviously those cards. What I would like to see is I definitely don't want to push specifically the props and the tight five to the point where you want to change them. I think we need to try and figure out, and I'm sure they can, is how to take them off just before they reach that T junction. So in terms, listen, I thought straight off the bat when this side was named, I would have had Ethan Hooker playing on the wing. Not that Curtly Arnson did anything bad and we would never have known because he went off too early. I would have started Marnie, and I thought Thomas du Toit would have got a look in. Whether on the bench or starting, I'm not sure. So the one thing, though, that was evident to me is Zachary Paulson. My question is why? Why was he kept off for so long? So is that a case of, listen, maybe we don't want to throw him into this just yet. We need to get a bit of ascendancy and he will do better because he's slightly inexperienced. If that is the case, then I will question a few of the things, especially in a game of this magnitude. Perhaps, that needs to be looked at as opposed to, as depending on how you want to change whoever, wherever, however. I don't think it matters too much. I do think the Paulson one looked like he was held back for me. Now, I could be wrong there, but I like him and I rate him and I think he's very mobile, but this game almost didn't suit him towards the end where they needed a Wilco or perhaps a Thomas du Toit where, I don't know, yeah.
It's a tricky one. Yeah. And I would have started Esterhuizen. And I would have started Hooker. He was in my team on Novus Media. We had to pick our teams this year from the journalist panel, and I put Hooker in that because I think it was early on. I thought, hey?
Where were you starting Esterhuizen?
I would have picked him ahead of Dialende.
Are you
just because I'm that big a fan of Esterhuizen? Well, who played better today?
Yeah, who played better? But yes, Dialende was moved to 13. Dialende was moved out of position.
Listen, guys, it was a fuck up. When that was a fuck up. When
Creel didn't touch the ball.
When Kirky went off and he had to move JC to wing, and everything had to shift like that, it became a fuck up. It's just at the end of the day, JC is a great player. He is a great player. He's a great 13. He's not a great wing.
But Dustin, if I can ask this question, but I don't understand.
He's not a good wing at all.
Curtly Arnson gets injured. The obvious play to me is you bring on Kobus, put him on the wing, and you don't disturb the center partnership, right? That's what I thought. Or you move Grant to the wing, which is quicker. That's better. Bring on Kobus, Grant to the wing. You leave the center part because that's the absolute engine of our team, defensively, offensively, everything. Now you bring on Andre. I've got three people playing out of position instead of one. Yeah. Right? Doesn't make sense to me.
But I don't think Dialende will do the damage to Geordie Barrett that Andre Esterhuizen could do to Geordie Barrett. That's my point. I'm not standing there saying he's a shit rugby player. What I'm saying is I would have started Esterhuizen just to cause havoc at the beginning. That's exactly what I would have done. But that's from a neutral's point of view, boys. I'm allowed an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Your opinion is very good for the following reason. The two biggest victories we've ever had over New Zealand, Andre Esterhuizen and Caden Moody played in the centres against Geordie Barrett, right, in Twickenham and Wellington.
Are you out?
egregious opinion, especially on his 100th match. On his 100th match, you have that opinion. I think it's very egregious, and I think.
What about the World Cup win? I mean, it may not have been big in points, but I can tell you the centre pairing for that one if you want. I mean, we've got a couple of big wins with them.
For this game, I'm not Jesus, I'm just playing. Anyway, so Esterhuizen to start next week, yeah, Sean? Right.
No, personnel, in terms of personnel, what I wanted to say was, I think Ox, they let him off early, which I understand that, he did come in with injury doubts. But when he's eating like that in the front row, it almost seems like it's pre-planned to say, okay, at 45 minutes, we're going to bring on Spinnacamp or whatever. But if you can see that Ox is still eating, if you can see that he's come back from the injury and he's holding up, then keep him on. And then conversely, they let Vocolo on too long. That's a problem. I thought in terms of selection, I think they got everything right. Yes, I'm not happy about the changes and the times that the changes had. Selection, the only thing I'll say is get Thatcher out of there. Williams also, I'll say maybe he's better in a bench role. I just think that unfortunately it wasn't his best game, so I'm not going to be too hard on him. But get Thatcher out of there, put in a Libbok, put in a Pollard, but not really, but put in Libbok, I think.
I agree. I think get Libbok there. It felt like we never got into a rhythm tonight. It was almost like the play break down all the time, broke down, and it just felt like, yeah, again, 19 wasn't in control, and it was because we and then the guys, we have to say it, Andy, the breakdown, it was a mess. There was a couple of guys coming through playing the 9. And we can't say that the ref. I won't say the ref was the cause of this loss, because the Boks, I mean, at the end we were outplayed. But there were soft moments in that match. I mean, the try, when the lock came through, storm down, that was a soft moment. Marx would score that try all day long in any other test, and today he didn't. And I think it had an impact, and you could see, it also, I think it had an impact on him as well. At the end of the day, these guys are human, so they were put under a lot of pressure later, and you could see it was a bit telling. But I don't think we should change that much. But it's there's things we have to sort out, and I think we might see. I'm going with the New Zealand Test series last year. Maybe we'll see them coming next week because their backs against the wall.
So listen, we've gone in on the players quite hard, but let's talk about the coaching decisions then. And I think all of you have kind of alluded to it a little bit in this whole conversation. Do you think the coaches need to take quite a bit of blame for the decisions within the match? We're talking about selections, we're talking about the decisions within the match. Do we know, we're talking about the sentence pairings now, the timings of substitutions, but the players are going to get hammered in the press. Should the coaches rightfully get hammered in the press as well?
They should. It wasn't brave enough. It wasn't brave enough. They didn't go for it. It was too conservative, in my opinion. And yes, they had the upper hand in terms of 22 entries, upper hand in the scrum. Possession was kind of 50-50, but territory, we did way better in that. But it wasn't daring enough. It wasn't bold enough. We can all be sensible Sallies and say, okay, we're going to do this. But it just wasn't daring and bold enough. And I felt like we played it safe, where we could have put foot on neck and actually gone for the win. And actually gone to get that upper hand, because now, like you say, we're in a position where we 1-0 down. We need to win 3 to get it flat out. Instead of playing it safe, we could have put ourselves in that position. But now, it's a day late and $1 short, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't want to chip in on that one, Jack.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to blame. Look, I owe Rusty so much. I'm not going to start blaming him for everything, right? And in the end, it's not the coach's fault if players keep on dropping the ball. But what I would say, though, I mentioned already, I didn't understand the substitution that disrupted the whole backline instead of just sending one of our fast scrum halves to the wing. What I want to know is this, okay? So with this whole Tony Brown character, all right, supposedly the world's greatest backline coach, all right, genius, New Zealander, saboteur, I am suggesting. Because if I bring in the world's best backline coach, all right, I'm expecting at least one strike play from a scrum 22, right? Oh. Like a dummy switch, run around, blindside wing, or something, anything, right? I'm not asking much, just one. Just show us you attended the practices. You are the genius. We say you are. We are giving you all our IP for a reason. We get something up front. All right, that's all I'm asking for. I'm only.
It was Grant Williams' fault. It was Grant Williams' fault, wasn't it, Dustin?
Obviously, because he couldn't get the ball out quick.
Right,
no,
boys, we'll wrap this up fairly soon.
Sorry, if I can jump in there just 3 minutes. Jock is 100% correct. He's 100% correct. Where was a strike from a scrum, from a line out, from a set piece? I mean, we did well in the set piece. We're getting our ball. We're getting their ball at some stages, but nothing on. Like Jock said, not a dummy switch pop, not a miss one, not a nothing. It's not good enough. You're on mute, Andy.
Yeah, I did well. That's £5 fine for anyone watching in our company. Racking them up. I'm going to go round the room to wrap this up, I suppose, and get A, your final thoughts, and B, what's the biggest thing that the Springboks need to change for next week? Courtney, you're in the firing line first.
For me, biggest thing to change, just be more bold, be more daring, stop playing it safe, and in closing, get Thatcher out of there. Get Thatcher out of there. Grant Williams, I think, go to the bench. Number 9, maybe Reinach, maybe Saf Light, Moni van der Berg. But besides that, I'm not too, like I always say, like we did everything right, but at the same time, we did everything wrong. So I'm more on the side that we were right going in, we just didn't execute. So fine tune on that, get Thatcher out, put Grant Williams on the bench, get someone else there in at 9, and it's a done deal.
Give me your words of wisdom. Give everyone hope in South Africa, Ash.
Andy, although it wasn't a great day for us, I'm not panicking because you know what, this is an amazing team. They've got a massive squad. I think we just need to be more accurate next week. We have to be accurate because these, like if the ball goes loose, they're on it and they're gonna come at you. So we have to be accurate. I think we need to look at how we're going to approach this match, and I think we have to look at Mani possibly coming in, creating that go forward ball, for, giving us that rhythm, get into rhythm, and putting our forwards also on the front foot. I think that's going to be key. I think there were phases in the match where we saw when Visa got front football, it's just like we got the front football, but we didn't execute well enough. Went out wide, and the ball, it was a knock. So I think execution is going to be key. Yes, we need to look at the personnel. I think Thomas is definitely someone that needs to be in there, but I'm not in panic stations. I think we've been here before, and we pitched the next week, and I think Cape Town is going to be a big day for the Boks next week. I think Monday morning I'll feel better about this one and look forward to Cape
Town. Sean, do we need a plan B? Do you need a plan B next week? We argue over whether there was one or whether a plan A was working, but they seem to lose their heads, certainly in that last 10 minutes, the yellow cards and everything. So strategically, what do you think needs to change from an actual overall play point of view, let alone the mistakes and the tackles missed, and et cetera, et cetera?
I don't think the players, the coaches, or the game plan you want to throw them out straight away after one bad game. Like, we had a bad game. I really think that a lot of this gets fixed with us having played a test match or a game last week or in between Argentina and now. So it will get better. I don't see us making many changes, but we could also make 12. So I don't really know how to approach that. But if we had to name the same side, I wouldn't be overly worried about it either. So they're not really, Rassie doesn't quite subscribe to, discarding people willy-nilly. There's a plan generally, and sometimes it doesn't look like we see one, but something was happening here and something will get worked on and it will come good. If we do this again next week, that's a different story.
Jacques, over to you, my man. What's the big one that you want to change for next week, whether tactically or... Yeah, I don't think it's personnel, weirdly. And I'm looking at it with different eyes than you guys, obviously, but I felt it was very limited today. And you alluded to the Tony Brown thing, but very limited in what they did.
Yeah, I've got a philosophical observation first, and then I'll get into the details. And this is, we're going to win next week. It's almost for sure, right? And it's because of the way the universe works. If you're a lion and you miss the hunt today, then you're better at hunting tomorrow. Because if you weren't, you just get worse and worse and die. And for that reason, it's called hormesis, right? So it's stress, it's no pain, no gain. So if you go through the history of these two teams playing series, the one who loses the first test almost always wins the second test. It's just the way it works. We're going to win next week. But despite that, what there was missing, and we didn't touch on this, I felt there was we missed leadership. I think we missed Siya Kolisi. I think Paul de Villiers is a great player. He might even be a better fetcher or number 6 than Siya Kolisi, but I think Peter Steph du Toit's once in a lifetime get up and give a history changing speech is a once in a lifetime thing. I really felt that we lost our heads. We didn't stay cool. I think we could do with Siya, and I think we'll see him back next week.
Before we go to Dustin, I'm just going to get a few more comments coming in on the YouTube channel. Plenty of banter flying around, I must say. Jeez, keep it clean, boys. Keep it clean. I think the main thing, there was a bit of arguing about the two charge downs, Etzebeth and then Hollands, obviously. Yeah, I see the optics on the Holland one, but if you look closely, Cody Taylor's kind of detached from the ruck, and I think that's why it looked like he was part of the ruck. But I'll need to look back on it. But yeah, lots of banter flying. A lot of people saying South Africa are panicking and they don't have anything in them for next week. Dustin, tell these people on Kickoff YouTube channel that they are horribly wrong, in your opinion.
They are horribly wrong, and just alluding to what everyone said. I mean, I know I had a go at Grant now. He wasn't good enough tonight, but he's not a bad player. Personnel, maybe the bench let us down a little bit. Sure, I'd like to see a Carlos Sadi, a Thomas Atoy get into the mix, but it's execution. Like Jock said, it's literally execution. If we can fix 2-3 things, then we're fine. And like Sean said, I wouldn't be too angry if we had the same squad going in, bar the bench. But no, horribly wrong. No one's panicking. I'm for sure, like Ash said, I'm for sure not panicking. It was a bad one, and we'll learn from it, and we'll be better. And that's what Rassie does. He do learn from these things. So no, we'll be better. We'll definitely be better, and we probably will win in Cape Town.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Everyone online who's joined as well, thanks for the comments in the section as well of how much you're enjoying this chat. We will be back next week. Hopefully these boys will be in slightly better mood after the second test down in Cape Town, which will obviously have a massive All Black crowd in it as well, which will be a talking point within itself. But for now, the first test is done. The Springboks have lost at Ellis Park. Again, a bit like the Australia game a couple of years back, the second half just didn't go their way, but they will be back, and that is the beauty of this tour. There's still 3 to go, 2 over here in South Africa and then that one in Baltimore. No question why there's one in Baltimore on another date. But from all of us at the Tap and Go, Dustin, we're going to have to rename the pub you're in as the Tap and Go, because we're going to have to build one. We need some budget to build one so that we can all meet there. But from everyone at Kickoff and Nova Media, have a wonderful evening. There's still another game next week. It'll be all right. The sun will rise tomorrow. Lots of work for the Springboks to do. New Zealand will enjoy their evening. And from me, Andy Daniel, have a lovely evening. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Yeehaw!